With China now using aerial robotic drones to track suspects and Irish police considering similar tactics, are we far behind the authoritarian East when it comes to civil rights? This is Ben Scallan and you're watching Gript Media. Chinese police made headlines recently when they used a drone to record and intercept an alleged drug deal in the southern city of Guilin. The video, which police shared with the Chinese state broadcaster CCTV, China Central Television, shows the suspects being pursued by an unmanned aerial drone until they are finally cornered and arrested by human officers on the ground. This is not the first time drones have been used in Chinese police operations, however. In 2019, a fugitive who had been on the run for 17 years in the southwestern Yunnan province was caught hiding out in a cave by police drones. He was subsequently arrested and sent back to prison camp, which he had escaped in 2002. More recently, throughout the coronavirus pandemic, Chinese state drones have been used to enforce mask usage and other COVID-19 regulations, hovering around villages and metropolitan areas and barking orders at citizens who fail to comply.
Like something out of science fiction, this drone equipped with a megaphone hovers before a crowd, blaring a warning. The operator, a local traffic cop.
You, the handsome man with the telephone, where's your mask? Put it on.
Hey, you on the bike, put on your mask when you're in the street. Don't endanger your fellow citizens.
Not all the drones are operated by public officials. Some of the clips have been posted by social media influencers hoping to encourage prevention.
Yes, Mom, it's the drone talking to you. You shouldn't come out without a mask. Go back inside and wash your hands. The drone can see you.
While all of this may sound like something out of a dystopian science fiction novel with flying mechanical eyes in the sky watching over a populace at all times, it may surprise some that more and more Western governments have been embracing similar approaches to law enforcement in recent years. For example, according to the Business Post, Irish Gardaí have considered using drones for the first time ever this year, with former Justice Minister Charlie Flanagan claiming that police are considering the technology for crime scene mapping, evidence collection and other unspecified applications. This may be concerning to some, as if you cast your mind back, Charlie Flanagan has been one of the most vociferous voices in Irish politics for government-imposed speech laws to curtail the range of ideas that citizens are allowed to express. It seems that this man's authoritarian instincts extend into other policies like allowing the police to spy on the public from the air. Additionally, Fianna Fáil has insisted that Gardaí should adopt drone technology as part of their police work. In fact, just last month, the Data Protection Commission ruled that Wexford County Council broke GDPR laws by using drones to spy on public movements during the lockdown, illegally surveilling caravan parks and holiday homes to ensure that people stayed within the 2-kilometre travel limit. So already we have branches of the Irish state attempting to illegally spy on the public using aerial drones. This isn't science fiction or some kind of abstract hypothetical situation, it's a reality right here, right now in 2020. While the normalization of this technology for law enforcement is still in the discussion phase in Ireland for now, it's already a reality in much of Europe and North America. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen examples of drone surveillance used to monitor Britain's more scenic locations, with authorities spying on sightseers from above in the name of the lockdown. In a similar vein, Spanish police have used drones fitted with loudspeakers to patrol the streets of Madrid and other built-up areas, loudly ordering citizens to remain at home.
Por favor, las autoridades sanitarias aconsejan que vuelvan a sus domicilios y abandonen los parques. Muchas gracias.
The EU last year proposed deploying swarms of AI-controlled drones to monitor Europe's borders for illegal activity in a project called Emerging Game Changers. They have also recently come under fire for donating drones to the Belarus government, which has been accused by some of an authoritarian crackdown on its citizens. The US too has seen the use of drones to enforce the law, such as in Elizabeth, Wisconsin, where police used drones donated by the Chinese tech company DJI to surveil citizens.
The drones donated by DJI, a Chinese company, have gone to 43 agencies in 22 states, all to help enforce social distancing rules.
You should not be congregating in groups.
In fact, all of the aforementioned countries use Chinese-made drones, and it's not hard to see why. China's main region for electronics production, Shenzhen, supplies up to 70% of the world's commercially available UAVs. If you've ever bought a drone for personal use, chances are it came from Chinese industry. This has raised serious concerns among security watchdogs who argue that data collected using Chinese drones may not be secure and may be providing a backdoor for the communist state to breach Western privacy, such as in the Telegraph article, China's DJI drones are collecting unnecessary data from owners' phones. Washington has for years suspected that the drones could facilitate Chinese espionage, something that the company has vehemently denied. This is very similar to the Huawei security scandal last year, where the Chinese phone company was suspected of using their phones to spy on consumers on behalf of the Red Chinese state. As one article in Forbes wrote, last year Huawei phones were banned by networks including Verizon and AT&T after being labeled a security threat. Meanwhile, tech site TechCo interviewed Timothy Heath, senior international defense research analyst at Rand Corporation, who believes it is entirely plausible that the firm's phones could be used to spy. The threat is legitimate given the murky links between Huawei and the Chinese authorities. The Chinese state has the authority to demand tech companies like Huawei turn over useful information or provide access to the communications and technologies owned and sold by Huawei. Chinese authorities can use information and access to facilitate espionage or cyber attacks over Huawei communications technologies. Consumer tech devices like phones that rely on Huawei technologies will be easier for Chinese authorities to penetrate and exploit for these reasons. So in other words, the idea of Chinese drones being used to spy on Westerners is far from an absurd notion based on the communist country's track record. Silke Carlo, director of Big Brother Watch, a UK civil liberties defence group, said, "Drones are an extreme militaristic form of surveillance. We've seen too many examples of police using them aggressively in place of measured public health communications. Police using drones to surveil and bark orders at members of the public is usually excessive and counterproductive. Parliament should introduce stronger safeguards to circumscribe their use." Time will tell if these technologies prove to be an asset to society or an authoritarian curse. But until then, please like and share this video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider signing up for a monthly donation via the link on screen to help us produce more content like this. Alternative media like Gript needs all the assistance it can get, and every donation goes a long way. As always, thanks for watching.